Assalamualaikum. This is Naaila, live contributing counselor with aboutislam.net, and we're going to go live today with questions. I'm so excited. I want to find out who's here, who's joining us live. Where are you from? Let me know where you're from about now. And see, I am in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's about, it's right around 9 a.m. here. So tell me where you are, what time it is, and I am so excited. And today I'm going to be taking live questions. I already have a few on me. Hey, glad to see you. Come on in, invite others. I'm so glad I missed a couple of weeks. I missed you all, so I'm really excited about being back and getting to see you all. And this, I love this. I love doing this because it gives us a way, just to be able to connect. I say all the time, I love what I do in regard to the Ummah, but being able to directly connect with people one-on-one and it's such a distant and personal way at the same time. Alhamdulillah, it's very, very nice. So we've got a few people who have joined us already. Oh, I love the hearts. Keep them coming. Assalamu alaikum. I'm so glad you're all in. And again, as you come in, let me know where you're from. Give me some hearts and let me see where you're from. And if you do have some questions, I'm going to try to get to all of them. So I'm going to go through the ones that have already been presented to me. All right, so this one is from a young lady. It's actually something I've heard about before, and it's a difficult one. And it says, I need some advice and I hope you will answer. Let me turn up my sound just a little bit. Okay. I need some advice and I hope you will answer. I fantasize romance and I can't help it. I've had this problem from an early age when I was 6 or 7. Hi, Tammy from Cairo. I've had this problem since I was 6 or 7. And I spend my whole day thinking about romance. And I tried to overcome it. And to some extent, I succeeded. Now I'm 23 and I still have these thoughts. And it's very hard to overcome as I think it's becoming something hormonal and I feel really guilty about it. Please give me some advice. Because this is an email and I'm not really able to answer any questions because I have a couple of questions in my head. So I'm going to answer this in very, very general terms. Okay? And so really what we're talking about, we could be talking about two things. One, maladaptive daydreaming, and that really is where people just get into they just daydream to the extent where it disrupts their ability to function. So that's one thing that could be going on. Or this just could be an area in which you may be someone who overthinks a lot, and this is the area in which you've really, really noticed it because it's disrupting your life. Now, I love romance. Romance is a beautiful thing under halal conditions. So not saying there's anything wrong with romance or halal love. That's a beautiful thing. And most of us do want to have that in our lives, inshallah. That's a good thing to desire. But when you get to the point where the thoughts that you have disrupt your ability to function or they disrupt your own mental energy and effort, you do have a problem. There may be some things that you want to consider here. So, because I'm going to speak in very general terms, I'm going to give you some suggestions about some things that you can do. All right, hello Pakistan, hello South Africa, hello from the Maldives. Glad to see you today. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some things that you could possibly do today. And one, of course, is always remember Allah. You could always remember Allah. Dhikr and recite Quran. Those are wonderful, wonderful things that can keep us rooted and to prevent the whispers. We always have the whispers of the jinn and of mankind to protect us from those things. So that's the first thing that I'm gonna direct you to do. Secondly, I'm going to say you may want to consider some professional counseling one-on-one. Maybe find someone in your area. And the other thing that I'm going to say to you is I'm going to recommend that you look up a technique called grounding. Grounding, grounding technique. I want you to look up a technique called grounding, and that could be another tool. It's a clinical tool that you could possibly use to help relieve some of your overthinking. Okay, so those are some things that you could do right away that would assist you with this entire process. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go to the next one. Oh, okay. It says, my wife has a good heart, but lacks some qualities. She doesn't do well with raising children, and she's not very good at cooking or washing. Cleaning pots and using the broom is her main issue. She's qualified and is practical, but there's a lot of things that she doesn't have. And I did counseling with her, but we didn't get any results. And sometimes I think of having a second marriage. What should I do? While this seems really, really complicated, in many ways, not so much. Because, there's something that we're told in Islam. When you see something that you don't like, look for something that you do like. And so this is what I'm going to direct you to. Look for that which you do like. Look for the things about her that she does do well. Everyone has a different skill set. If someone who's a good wife, she has good areas in which she's good in one area. And the same for a father. A father or a husband, he's really good in this area and not so good in another one. And so I'm going to suggest you to look for the things that you do like about her. What are the strengths that she does well? And then maybe even consider how you might be able to help her or get her some help. And you said you did counseling, but what you're really talking about are the two different things, because I'm a counselor and we don't really help people with household duties. So I don't know if that's really something that you could get help with in counseling. This really might be a skill that where she really may just need some help and some encouragement and some support from you. So that might be something that you might be an area where you may be able to assist her. Okay? All right. So I have another one. So it says, it's been 6 years for our marriage, and we have a 3-year-old daughter. Oh, I'm thinking of that. Since a few months after marriage, I caught my husband chatting and flirting with his ex-girlfriend. And every time I forgave him, and I didn't want to break the marriage. He's not the kind who's going to want to sit and discuss it. He'll tell me it won't happen again, but it never stops. And it used to be he only used to make one comment, and he would say, well, I'm not sleeping with anyone, I'm just chatting, and you're the one that's overreacting. And recently, 6 months ago, I caught him sleeping with a woman on a regular basis. And this was a final blow for me, and I almost went and asked for a divorce. And he begged and he pleaded, and he requested that I not leave him. Well, anyway, right now we are still together, but I feel he has no regard for me, no love and respect. And for the last few months, we haven't had a physical relationship. These are some deep-rooted marital issues. And now the question is there are some relatives who know about there is someone in my family who knows about my situation, and he wants to marry me. Will it be wrong on my part to divorce my husband because I know there is someone I'm considering to save my life? The only reason why I'm still with my husband is because of our daughter. And it would hurt her badly if I separate from him. Okay, there are a few more things, but I'm going to stop right there because I want to break this up. This is compact. There's a lot of things jam-packed here. Okay, so the first one is in regard to the chatting. You know, before you have physical contact, sometimes you have a husband or a wife where they chat with someone else online or through social media. And, you know, when I call that social infidelity, where there hasn't been any physical contact, but socially, it's been some inappropriate contact. And that's never okay, because we have to keep our behavior halal, inshallah. And so I do understand the sensitivities there, but I wanted to identify that as definitely being an issue. I didn't want to escape that, because we do have an issue in which this escalated from social infidelity into physical infidelity. And so we have a totally different issue. We have adultery at that point. And I know that there are many couples that I work with who deal with infidelity, and sometimes they say, oh, I can't take this, Naaila. This is too much. I'm going to want to divorce. And yes, adultery is grounds for divorce, but everyone doesn't feel that way. And some people really decide, you know what, I'm going to try to work this out, inshallah. And you have every right to be able to do so. And so I see where you stayed in the marriage, but I see something that I didn't see here in the question. I didn't see where the two of you did anything to try to resolve the issue of adultery. So I'm going to recommend that you backtrack and that you seek the assistance of an elder, of an imam, of a counselor. Go to someone outside of yourselves. I want you to think of your marriage like a leg, like two legs. There's two people here. And both of the legs are very, very strong. But if you have one leg that breaks, the person is off balance. And so, you know, when you have a broken leg, you go to the doctor, you have a cast put on it, you get a crutch, you get crutches, you get a cane, you get something to balance yourself so you can heal. Well, your marriage is the same way. Sometimes you have to go outside of yourself and to go get something to help you heal. And you have some brokenness here and you have some imbalance and you're not going to be able to walk without being wobbly. So let's go outside of yourselves to be able to get some assistance, because the same people who broke the leg are going to be able to heal the leg. And this is why we go somewhere for some help. So I'm going to recommend that you go back and get some assistance in regard to working on that adultery piece. Now, you said, I know that there's someone who's got their eye on me, and I'm sure you're a beautiful sister. But before you plan, because this is what you're talking about, this is an evacuation plan. Before you make an evacuation plan, before you decide, oh, I've got to get out of here, and how you're going to do it, because another man is not the way to get over the feelings and the pain and the problems within this relationship. That's never the way to do it. I don't care if it's another man or another woman. That's never the route to do it. Because you said something here, and I intentionally read it because I thought it was very crucial. You said, will it be wrong on my part to divorce my husband because I know there is someone I'm considering to save your life? Sister, the only person who can ever save your life is Allah. Another man or another person does not have the capacity to save your life. The only way that you can save yourself from a problem is with resolution, and not another person. Another person is not resolution, because you're bringing the same issues and even the same hurts and some of the same doubts and insecurities and pains from this prior relationship into the next one. So another relationship is not salvation. That this is not how you save yourself. The way that you save yourself is you use Islam as a protection to safeguard yourself. So I want to caution you about that thought process, because it's extremely unhealthy and it can lead you to places that are much worse than the one that you're talking about right now. So always be mindful that Allah is your first source for your aid. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to recommend that you get some counseling, and you get or an elder or an imam to assist you and your husband with this issue of infidelity, the physical infidelity and the social infidelity. Now, I'm going to speak directly to you. You know, it definitely sounds like you're looking for an out. You know, there's something that I tell the couples that I work with who deal with this. You can divorce a person, but you can't divorce yourself. And so while you're looking for out, of who doesn't look for a place not to hurt? We all do. We all look for a place to feel safe, to feel protected, to feel loved. And it may be that you're not getting that right now within your marriage. However, even if you leave the union, even if you leave the marriage, you can't leave you. And you're going to need to be able to create a sense of safety and a sense of love and protection with yourself. And so always be mindful of that, because you cannot divorce you. You can leave a marriage. You can leave a person. You can leave a lot of things in life. But wherever you go, you always take you with you. All right, so I want you all to be mindful of that. All right, so if we have some questions, I will surely take them. Oh, we've got Kenya and Pakistan. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Assalamu alaikum. I work with a couple, with a few couples from Pakistan here in the United States. So I feel just a slight bit of connection. They share so many things with me about your beautiful culture. So I love it. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, it says, Salam sister, I'm from Kashmir, and I want to know what is the most important thing to know about marriage. That's a wonderful question. And depending upon who you talk to, you could get so many different answers. But I'm going to give you my answer, Sophie. Okay, this is my answer. My belief is that the most important thing for you to know about marriage is that marriage is an act of worship. That marriage is a beautiful institution that was created by Allah, and even marriage in itself is a way that we use to worship Him. What I think is so beautiful about Islam is that, you know, Allah, He makes many promises to us. Alhamdulillah. And He promises us that inshallah, that if we follow the tenements, the principles of Islam, that we can get Jannah, inshallah. And there is no other relationship in which Allah promises that we will be able to meet the other person in Jannah other than your spouse. We would all love to see our parents, our children, our family members, people that we love in Jannah, but we don't have that guarantee. However, in regard to marriage, marriage is the only relationship that starts here in the human space that goes into Jannah. No other relationship do we get that guarantee or that we get that promise. And so this lets us know how important this relationship is, because Allah says that the marriage that you have here, that you will have that in Jannah. This is a crucial relationship. This relationship is an act of worship. And that is what we need to be mindful of, is that the way we treat each other in marriage, the way that we love our spouse, the way that we remind the other person to remember Allah and to be better Muslims, because we are a mirror to one another. We reflect one another, and this is a crucial relationship. And so that would be one of the number one things that I would say, is that for us to be mindful that marriage is an act of worship. Okay, Tammy says, my husband always wants me to sit next to him watching TV and playing video games instead of cleaning the house. This sounds all well and good, but I'm freaking out over this dust and dirt, and he doesn't care about those things. What can we do? Tammy, I get it. As someone who tries to work and be a mother and a wife and manage my household, while you're sitting down, it can be so hard to sit down comfortably in your house because you're looking around and you're seeing things. Oh, I need to pick that up. Oh, we've got to put that away. Oh, we need to go and do this. And so you're sitting there and you're making these mental notes of all these things around you that you need to get up and do. So I totally get it. But I'm going to tell you, there was something that I learned from my elders years ago. When I say years ago, I mean years ago, that I learned from my elders. And she said to me, when your husband wants to take a nap, lay down with him. And I'm thinking to myself, for what? I'm not sleepy. He's the one who's sleepy. But if he wants to take a nap, then and he would like for you to rest with him, rest with him. If he wants to sit and drink tea and he would like for you to join him, then join him. And so what I've learned is that this also includes video games. That what your husband is doing is that he is giving you an invitation into his personal space and into his personal moments. And it is in those routine, mundane moments, those moments that look and feel like monotony, like we're not doing anything. This is when you build connection. This is when you build the relationship. Those are the moments when you develop a comfort with one another that you may not normally have. And he doesn't really want to stand next to you while you wash dishes. That's no fun. But it is fun to have the comfort of you while he's doing something that he enjoys. It was a couple of nights ago here where I'm at in Atlanta. We didn't have very much snow, but it doesn't take much for them to shut down here. And so they had closed school. And my son, I have two sons. I have three children, but I have two sons. And my baby boy is, he's 15. And he got a new game on his Xbox. And he asked me to come downstairs and get a blanket because it was little, it was cold, and he was like, and I had actually gone to bed, and he asked me to come downstairs with him and watch him play his game by candlelight. Yes, my kids play video games by candlelight. I think it's because I burn candles because I'm a therapist. Okay, so. Looking at him, I don't know, this seems weird, but I did it. And, he hasn't given me the invitation again, and I don't know if I'll ever get invited into his space again, but I did it. And I really couldn't comment a whole lot because I really didn't know what was going on in that game. But I said a few things. I don't know if they made sense. But it was a great time for he and I to connect. Oh, you were welcome, brother. Alhamdulillah. You're welcome. And so, Tammy, that was a great time for me and my son to connect. And so I want you to be mindful. This is a great time for you and your husband to connect. And I'm very happy that he gives you that invitation. And I'm going to suggest that you reciprocate it and offer him invitations into your space. If you don't already, it could be something that you need that you already do. Okay. Anna says, my husband also wants it. He wants us to share everything together. And when he sleeps, he wants you beside him. That is so nice. And my husband, I call him online, but my husband, his name is Hassan. And he does the same thing when he goes to sleep. He wants me right there. And then he wakes up. Naaila, why? I'm right here. Oh, okay. And then he goes right back to sleep. Everyone has their own ways of seeking comfort from their partner. And sometimes, I know women do it also, but sometimes men do it in a way that's a little different than what we're used to, especially when you're lying there next to him and you're thinking, I really would like to go fold up that laundry. But those clothes aren't going anywhere. But the opportunity to build connection within your relationship, you may never get this one again. So take it. Go ahead and put in those little deposits in your marriage and in your relationship. Okay? So I appreciate all of you. You had great questions for today, and I'm really hoping that you got something out of this. And you can visit us on Hassan-Naaila Clay. I'm gonna type it right up here. This is where you can find us on. You can find us online.